Hello folks, welcome to IAS Academy. In this video, we will be discussing a current affair topic presented to you by a faculty, Sushma K. So what is the topic that we will be discussing today? History of USA's role in India-Pakistan issues. In this video, we will be seeing as to why is it news, what is the relevance of it, that is a GS paper 2. Now we will be discussing topics as to what is the history of US involvement in India-Pakistan starting from your 1947 to your 2025? Okay, look at this. US role India-Pakistan conflict पे what is India's hyphenation with Pakistan and why does New Delhi oppose it? Why is New Delhi against third party intervention? And what has the US role been in India-Pakistan hostilities in the past? All of this we will be addressing in the course of the video. Why is this in news? Why are we discussing this topic? First and foremost, recently if you see, India counteracted for a terrorist activity that was carried out on Indian soil, that is your Pahalgam terror attack. So India went ahead with your counter-terrorism move with Operation Sindoor. When we tried to counter the terrorism, Pakistan took it on in itself that this is an act of war, this is an escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan. Whatever Pakistan decided on its front, it started having severe escalation between India and Pakistan ties. Mind it now, here both India and Pakistan are a nuclear country. And this is not just we are telling, yes, India and Pakistan are just now in a broil that they will sort it over. Pakistan has outright, openly even told that Pakistan is a nuclear state. Meaning it is trying to threaten with nuclear power. India is also a nuclear state. That is a separate thing. But we did not want to cause any issue or escalation with any civilians or any state that has strictly civilian duties. Our fight was crystal clear, that is with terrorism in all forms and types alongside those who are backing the terrorism. Now the issue that comes here as to why are we discussing, acha, okay, there is a fight between your USA. Now we can tell, okay, so there is an escalation between India and Pakistan. Why is USA coming in between? Because US president has time and again kept on reiterating that now there is peace, or now we wouldn't exactly use the word peace, there is de-escalation of tensions between two nuclear power states of India and Pakistan is because of USA, that is Donald Trump involvement, is what he claims. He has also held that he was the one who mediated the peace by telling that both these states are nuclear power states, and if you want to have trade deal with US, then we will not allow it to happen when you both are shooting at each other. So this is what apparently US president is telling helped India and Pakistan to de-escalate or come to a talking grounds or a mediation. This is what US has claimed. For which India has told that no. If at all we have agreed to stop the escalation on both sides, it is because of the bilateral talks between India and Pakistan and not because of USA. And definitely not because of the trade with USA for us to do it in this manner. Why is India telling this? And India has also been angry by your Donald Trump's constant claim that he was the one who ended the conflict between India and Pakistan. History has taught us very valuable lesson that we cannot trust the third party member because he always operates for his best interests. He is trying to exploit the scenario for his best interests. Again, how do we know that? History. All the time, people have tried to use, especially USA have tried to use the gains what it will get in trying to deal with your India-Pakistan issue. Understanding? So India, that is your New Delhi, has strictly maintained a stance that no, with regard to India and Pakistan, we will sort out the issue bilaterally and not without the inclusion of any powerful third parties. Understanding? Now look at this. Trump says deal he is most proud of is stopping potential nuclear war between India and Pakistan through trade. So he has claimed that he has stopped the nuclear war is because of his trade deal which he used to lure both India and Pakistan to come at a table. Talked trade stopped them from fighting. Donald Trump once again claims credit for India-Pakistan ceasefire. Trump again claims credit for India-Pakistan cessation of hostilities. So in all of this, he has held that he was the one who has stopped or reduced the hostilities. Why did these hostilities come in the first place? Because of the terrorist activity conducted in Indian soil in Pahalgam terror attack, for which India countered the terrorist activity with Operation Sindoor. Our message was to be simple, loud, clear, crisp. India, that is now the Naya India or New India, will not tolerate terrorism. And it will not tolerate terrorism in any forms. This was our message, and Operation Sindoor was a clear evidence of that. With this, Donald Trump has held that he has been the one who has made sure to end the hostilities between India and Pakistan. For which India has again reiterated that no, it was not the role of any US president nor any other third party country, but it was because of the bilateral agreement and mutual agreement from your India and Pakistan side. This is the India's response for your Trump's claim that he was the one who prevented apparently a nuclear war. So India has time and again kept on held that trade with USA did not figure in this calculations at all. It was only bilateral talks with Pakistan that we had. So Trump's claim of preventing a possible nuclear war is because of his involvement is not the same as what New Delhi echoes. See, Trump's rhetoric, either deliberately or unwittingly, is hyphenating India and Pakistan, which means trying to come between India and Pakistan. Now, when we say hyphenating, understand one thing. Time and again, there have been other forces which have come to resolve the issues between India and Pakistan, but it hasn't always sat well and it definitely hasn't been on India's favor. If you see with regard to your US involvement in India and Pakistan issue, it has always, USA has largely favored Pakistan over India. How do we say this? August 1947, when your infiltrators from Pakistan attacked Jammu and Kashmir. At that point of time, your Viceroy, Lord Mountbatten, suggested that India go to United Nations. Based on the same advice, January 1st around 1948, we did go to United Nations. What India thought was, what United Nations will see is a land that was legally assessed to India, for whom, for that piece of land, India has sovereign territorial rights, legal rights, and claim will be seen by your United Nations. But this is where that we saw that reality is very different. They were ready to twist the facts. Your British did not support India on this, which was an act of betrayal for both India and Indians. Many Indians felt betrayed that your Britain didn't support after all this. So, this was the first instance that we learned that no, we should not involve any third party, big powerful members, because they will try to gain or they will try to see what they gain from this. So India's assumption that rights over a territory which was legitimately acceded to it would be respected at the United Nations, but it was not. This was not the very first instance, but there were multiple other instances that we have felt at their hands. For example, historian Ramachandra Guha writes, India suffered a significant symbolic defeat when the Security Council altered the agenda item from Jammu and Kashmir question to the India-Pakistan question. They turned the battle, they turned the narrative. So much so that initially in your 1948 period of time, your US, rather than how approach it was taken in 2025, took a different approach then. It told that India and Pakistan should bilaterally resolve this issue compared to what your 2025 Donald Trump is trying to tell. The formal hyphenation on international fora begins basically, this was one of the first steps where we were hit by the fact that no third big powerful party is going to come to our side, or no one is going to see the right side. Why are we telling the right side? See, first of all, they are putting India and Pakistan as two forces and just saying, this is the fight between two. What we are telling is you cannot even put these two together. India is fighting for democracy, whereas Pakistan is promoting terrorism. Understanding India's identity as a democratic country and significant economy should be considered before discussing this issue by how it should be dealt with. But what your third, that is your hyphenation or international forum is seeing is you're just putting two people and you're trying to weigh the pros and cons without seeing who the two people are. India is a victim of Pakistan's territorial aggression. None of these are taken into consideration while they are looking into the aspects. If you see, after the UN episode, whatever happened in 1948, India has wanted to amicably deal with issues bilaterally between India and Pakistan only. Whereas after a UN episode, Pakistan wants to make this an internationalist episode. It wants all the actors to be involved. So, post, the scenarios are not the same how it was in 1948. India is now recognized as the leader of global south. Yes, presently, yes, India is the leader of global south. India is the voice of global south, and yet we are the victims of your Pakistan's territorial aggression. See, in 1947 India-Pakistan war, this when your US at that point of time held a different approach, telling that we would very much prefer that the Kashmir question be settled by direct negotiation between India and Pakistan, which is not the same stance that your USA is trying to take now. Again, in your 1962 India-China war, yes, US helped India in airlifting military supplies, but it came at a cost. What was the cost? It forced India to have talks with Pakistan. It forced India to have talks with Pakistan out of our will, and also it understood that India needs its help. So it tried to leverage it in ways that could benefit itself. So much so that 6 rounds of talks were held between unsuccessful talks. Mind it, all of these were. 6 rounds of unsuccessful talks were held between India and Pakistan. So much so that we also see at this point of time, your Pakistan Prime Minister also, there is evidences where he has held that he wants compensation for Pakistan being not interfering into this war. And he has also claimed that Pakistan Prime Minister has also claimed that India should compensate Pakistan for not entering into the war, that is this war, 1962 war. And also it had even thought that it will enter a new front of attack on India from your Himalayas. This is how it was at that point of time, and it is also said that the US had dissuaded that. Look at this. US Under Secretary of State Chester Bowles wrote about that period. We had also rather ineptly seized upon India's acute need for US assistance as a leverage to force India to make concessions to the Pakistanis in regard to Kashmir, which no democratic Indian government could make and survive. This is what made us feel that yes, no third party is ever going to come in, mediate, and see right aspects of who the two people are actually on this. And that is why we rely on bilateral talks and not involvement of third members, unlike how your Donald Trump claims. In your 1917 India-Pakistan war, this was a clear-cut indication of your US outrightly supporting Pakistan. It even dispatched warship towards Bay of Bengal. Then the next phase of war is with respect to when your US launched this war on terror. When USA, India kept telling no, terrorism we have to fight, terrorism we have to fight, terrorism we have to fight. They kept on leveraging our fight, our struggles, everything for their gains. We kept on telling the snakes are in the backyard, but they didn't listen until and unless that snake bit them itself in the form of 9/11 attack. Where was exactly Osama bin Laden hiding? This is when USA could open little bit of their eyes and think, oh, okay, now we have to deal with terrorism. So for all these years that India kept crying, we have to do a fight on terrorism, fight on terrorism. Even today, India continues the same talk. But we were tired of the talk. We had to get into the action, and that action was your Operation Sindoor. And to this, your US now is coming and claiming, I prevented the major nuclear war, which was to happen. They're not seeing the history behind how much we went, how much we won. No. Only when it happens to them is they are able to feel the pain. Only then they are going to able to hunt down those people, kill, violate all sort of territorial integrity, sovereignty, all those words. But the same thing when India does, it is considered an aggression. And India should dial down. Apparently, after Pahalgam attack, there were countries who, if something would have happened to them, they would go hunt them down. Those countries coming in and telling or giving yarn to us that you have to dial down the response. If this happens to them, we have to see, wait and watch and observe that will they dial down their response for the terrorist activity that claimed innocent lives in their soil. Understanding? With this, we come to the end of the topic. If you like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, share it along with your friends. Thank you.